Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Arif Primarahadian with student ID number 2024-32-107. In this video, I will explain my report for the Introduction to Big Data course, covering both theoretical concepts and practical implementation of web scraping using two different approaches. First, browser-based extension and Python programming. Let's begin with the theory section first. Today we live in a world driven by data. Every digital activity, like browsing websites, online shopping, uh, social media, GPS, and IoT devices, generates massive amounts of information every second. Because of this, data has become one of the most valuable assets in the modern world. Organizations that can collect, process, and analyze data effectively gain major advantage in decision making. The internet itself is one of the largest data source available today. Through web scraping, APIs, and analytics tools, raw online information can be transformed into meaningful insights. Next, web scraping. Web scraping is an automated technique used to collect data from websites using a script or program. Instead of copying information manually, the system sends an HTTP request to a server, receive the HTML response, and extract specific information based on text, classes, or element structures. The collected data can then be stored in formats such as like CSV, JSON, or databases for further analysis. In my opinion, web scraping acts as a bridge between publicly available internet data and analytical system that require structured datasets. Next, there are three core Python libraries commonly used in web scraping. First is request, responsible for sending HTTP requests and receiving response from the server. And then Beautiful Soup parse the HTML structures and allows data extraction based on text and classes. Then Selenium controls a real browser, useful for websites that load content dynamically using JavaScript, where request alone is not enough. Then together, these three libraries from the foundation of modern Python web scraping workflows. Next, why data must be processed? Collecting data alone is not enough. Raw data is often incomplete, inconsistent, duplicated, or poorly formatted if analyzed directly. The result might become inaccurate. This concept is known as GEGO, garbage in, garbage out. Because of this, data cleaning and pre-processing are extremely important stages in the data pipeline. The process includes removing duplicates, handling missing values, normalizing formats, and validating the final dataset before analysis. All right, next, big data and the 5V framework. According to Mrs. Dina's explanation, big data is not only about large amounts of data, it's also about complexity and processing challenges. First is the volume, the massive scale of data. Velocity, how fast data is generated and processed in real time. And then variety, different data formats like text, image, video, and logs. And then veracity, data accuracy and reliability. And then value, the useful insights generate after data processing. Without proper processing, even massive datasets become only storage burdens. Next, Hadoop and Spark. To process big data efficiently, distributed computing technologies are required. First, Apache Hadoop focus on distributed storage and large-scale batch processing. And then Apache Spark used in memory computing, making it significantly faster, especially for machine learning and real-time analytics. These technologies exist because traditional systems are no longer sufficient for modern scale data workloads. Next is the data collection tools. There are several categories of tools commonly used for data collection. First is web scraping, like Scrapy, Beautiful Soup, and Selenium. Then APIs, Twitter, YouTube, and GitHub provide a stable and legal solution for structured data access. And then IoT sensors, physical sensors continuously generates real-time data streams. Then ready-to-use datasets like platforms like Kaggle and data.go.id provide open datasets for research and learning purpose. Alright, after discussing the theoretical concepts, I will now continue with the practical implementation of web scraping. In the first practical session, I used the web scraper extension available in Chrome DevTools to collect data automatically from a website. The target website is realpython.github.io/fake jobs, a simulated job listing page specifically designed for web scraping practice. After the website opens, I access web scraper through the DevTools at the bottom of the browser, and then I create a new sitemap, name it PC38 fake Python. And then I fill in the start URL with the target website address and create the sitemap. Alright, the sitemap acts as a set of instructions of web scraper, telling it which page to visit and which elements to collect. With this approach, scraping can be done without writing a single line of code. The next step is creating the main selector. I set the ID as jobs and the type as element scroll. And then I'm gonna fill this selector is column dot is strip half. Right? And then set the multiple option. So all job cards on the page are collected not just once. The parent selector is set to the root, meaning the search starts from the top level of the HTML document. After all configuration is complete, I save the selector by clicking Save Selector. After the main selector is saved, I go into the root or jobs hierarchy and add for child selectors to extract more specific data from each job card. First is job underscore title. And then I'm gonna fill this selector is h to dot title. Then save. Then I'm gonna add new selector again with company. Then I'm gonna fill the selector h3.company, then save, then gonna get in location vector p dot location. Alright, then save. And finally, gonna create this date, this selector time. Then gonna save selector. I'll for use the type selector text with jobs as their parent selector and multiple set to know, because each card only has one value per element. With this hierarchical selector structure complete, web scraper is ready to run to the scraping process and extract all four data elements from every job card on the page automatically. Right after scraping, is complete, web scraper provide two export options. First is .xlsx and .csv. I choose CSV because it is lighter and more compatible with data processing tools like Python and Pandas. The file, the file downloads automatically as PC38 Python.csv with a size of 14 kilobyte. The file name follows the sitemap name I created earlier, making it easy to identify. When open it in Microsoft Excel, I use the convert text to column wizard with uh, comma as the delimiter. And gonna take this step. The extract columns are then gonna next this and finish. The extract columns are web scraper order, web scraper start URL, job title, company, location, and date. All three main target fields record successfully with consistent structures across rows 2 through to 25. Alright, after using a browser-based scraping approach, I will now continue with a programmatic scraping approach using Python. In this second session, I use Python with request, Beautiful Soup, and Pandas to scrape laptop product data from an e-commerce simulation website. These three libraries work sequentially in one pipeline. Quest fetch the page. Beautiful Soup reads its structure, and Pandas organize the result into structured data. And then I store the target URL, a simulated e-commerce page containing a list of laptop products, into a variable called URL. And then I send a HTTP GET request using request.get URL and store the result in the variable response. To verify the connection, I print response get status underscore code. The output is 200, meaning the server responded successfully and the page was accessed without any issues. And then I pass response the text into Beautiful Soup using the HTML.parser engine and store it in the variable soup. From here, the entire HTML structure of the page is ready to be traversed and extracted. Then using find underscore all, I search for all div elements with the class thumbnail, which is the container for each laptop product card. The result shows 117 products detected on the page. Inside the loop, I extract three main elements from each product card. The title from a tag with class title, the price from a tag H4 with class price, and the description from tag P with class description. Each value is cleansed using .text underscore strip to remove any hidden white space, then added to the corresponding list using .append. After the loop completes, I combine all three lists into the pandas data frame with columns name, nama laptop, harga, dan deskripsi. The result shows a clean table with 117 rows and 3 columns. From row 0, Asus VivoBook, then 295 99 to row 116 Asus ROG Strix 1799. Finally, I export the data frame into CSV file named data underscore laptop.csv. The parameter index equal false ensures the default data frame index numbers are not included in the file, so the output is cleaner. Alright, when open in Microsoft Excel, I'm gonna use this text to columns, convert text to column wizard with this check delimited, then check this comma, and then check the tab, right, and finish. The data is neatly arranged in 3 columns. The full 117 laptop records are visible, complete with processor, specs, RAM, storage, and operating systems details for each product. After completing both optimization, I now have a much more concrete understanding of how data on the internet can be collected systematically. The first session show me that scripting does not always have to involve code. With the right sitemap and selector configuration, data from a web page can be extracted and export to CSV easily. The second session with Python broke a deeper understanding. I could see directly how each library works uh, at its own stage, and how important it is to understand a page HTML structure before writing and escaping code, because one wrong element read will directly impact the data produced. From both methods, I conclude that web scraping is one of the most effective ways to collect large amounts of data from publicly available source, and, and that scraping is the first bridge before data can enter the processing and analysis stage in the context of big data. I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.